Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? All right, I see Lucretia. Hi, Lucretia, burning up the road. She's going to be moderating today. And Artist Live, hi, welcome. Hi, Steve, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. What we're going to do here, as soon as I see Blue Wonder Lady come on, we're going to go ahead and invite her in. So give me 1 second here. I'm just going to close a couple of things. All right. So, hi, Three Generations. Nice to see you here. All right. I'm seeing her coming on. There she is. We're going to get her on here. There she is. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Hello. It's so great to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. Where are you? Beautiful background.
I know, right? Cool, right? Okay, guess. I'll tell you. I'll give you a great big hint.
Okay. See, let's see if somebody can guess on the live stream.
During the premiere video that you just watched, not one, but two monkeys were just in the tree next to me.
Somewhere with monkeys. And it's not the zoo.
It's not a zoo.
Okay.
Any guesses?
Can anybody guess?
I'll give you another hint. I start each morning with two cans.
MoBang got it.
He did?
Yeah. Do you see the chat?
Oh, no.
Do you see the comments on your end?
I'll click there, chat. Okay. If I go to the chat, I can't see any people.
Okay, go to comments. Do you see comments on the very top on the right?
Oh, wow, there is everybody. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Yeah. Great to see you there. Wonderful.
Yeah,
hi, everybody.
To the video that we just showed, but they can hear you now. They can see you and hear you.
All right. So I can see all your great comments, but now I can't see myself or Travel Grandma. So I'm going to count on all of you to tell me if I've gone out of the frame or anything that. Okay?
You're good.
All right, good. Good.
All right. If you want to see yourself, you can. I don't know why. This is my first time doing live stream, so Lucretia is going to have to tell me how to do that. I don't know why you can't see it. So we'll figure it out.
We will. I want to give a big shout out to folks who are here to Travel Grandma. So we've got First Hawk Feathers 54, Tina Wong. I hope I got that right. And look, you guessed it too. Cool. Steve, Crafty Traveler. I'm recognizing some of these names from the premiere as well. Cool.
Yeah.
And others. I'm sorry if I'm not reading your name aloud, but thanks for being here.
All right. So what we want to do is we want to see what were some of the highlights of the van tour for you guys. Let's talk a little bit about some of the highlights. All right, I'm going to go in here. If you have a question or what were some of the highlights, put it in the chat there. Everybody's still saying hi to everybody. I really liked your table. I thought that was marvelous. Yeah.
Thank you. That's gotten a lot of rave reviews.
Also like the travel. Yep. Like the table. Three Generations love the table. The space. Steve said the space usage caught his attention. All right. Great. Yeah, she had some. I love the water bottles too.
Right. Yeah, those were a real surprise because I'd been struggling with water bottles for quite a while to get them to fit, in the basement or in the main living area or maybe in front of the front seat and the dash, and nothing was working. And then those were a game changer. They just opened up a lot of possibilities for me. You know, you can be
Right.
a little bit stealth and get your water from a public location, or you
Mhm.
can easily get your water from where they're selling it too. It really opened up some options.
So Crafty Traveler has a question. Let me see if I can pull her up here. She says, my question is, are you retired or how do you earn money on the road?
Can you still hear me okay? Am I still connected?
Yeah. Okay. Did you hear
Great.
Crafty Traveler's question? My question is, are you retired or how do you earn money on the road? Can you see that?
Yes,
Lucretia?
yeah, I do see it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
that is such a good question. I do a combination. So I am self-employed as well as employed. I did take a leave of absence because snowbirding was really critical to my mental health. It also was just critical to keeping my creative juices flowing, so that, and also restoring myself, because I'm helping professionals, so it's good to keep my well filled. And I love creating content on YouTube. So the YouTube channel is going to be a really important part for going forward. And
Mm-hmm.
I can be a digital nomad as well as work in the location wherever I am. So it can all just be combined: digital, working where I am, as well as being a YouTube
Uh-huh.
creator.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long
And so
have you been on the
I
road?
mix and match.
Yeah. How long have you been on the road?
Yeah, good. Yeah. So I've come back on the road this year.
Okay.
I started in November.
Okay.
I prepared for it for a while. And now I'm officially on the road. I have a home in Vermont with a wonderful family and I will stay there when it's warm and sunny and not too
Okay.
humid. And the
Okay.
rest of the time, I will be where it's sunny and warm and blue skies. That's why I'm called the Blue Wonder Lady. And my husband and
Yeah.
family can join me whenever they would like.
Okay. Open invitation for them, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. And friends too. Yeah. I have a lot of
Yeah.
friends who want to snowbird. So this is a nice way to share time. In fact, I'm here in Costa Rica snowbirding for the month with a dear friend named Supriya, and she
Okay.
is also a snowbird. So it's a mix and match.
Oh, okay. And where does she live by you then in Vermont or
Yeah.
somewhere else?
Yep. Yep. She lives in
Okay.
Brattleboro, Vermont as well.
Okay, great. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of being on the road. What have some of your challenges been?
Yeah. Great question. We see so much about the romance of living on the road because there is so much that's great. And challenges, I think, um, even though I'm making a lot of new friends, and my husband and
Mhm.
I are finding very meaningful ways to connect. Thank goodness for FaceTime and Zoom. We make a habit of connecting every day, at least by phone, if not by video. Another
Mhm.
challenge would be just the mind energy it takes to plan where you're going to go next. If you don't already have an itinerary, sometimes
Mhm.
it's like finding a meetup or being torn between exploring two different places that are in opposite directions. And it's the mental energy really. But I've been keeping.
You're kind of, I don't know. I'm not hearing you right now. Let's see. How's the sound for everybody
It's
else?
yeah,
Kind of going in
very
and
few
out a little
challenges.
bit. Okay. All right. And you said that you were
Can you hear me
married.
all right?
Yeah, now I can. You said that you're married. And
Yeah.
how does your husband
Okay.
feel about your travels?
Yes, I am married. Well, and tell me if the sound goes out and I'll pause.
Okay.
Okay.
You're
And I
good
will get better
now.
on
You're
the same
good
thing. So,
now.
yeah. All right. Well, so my husband is very supportive. I'm really lucky.
Mhm.
We did go through an initial adjustment. We were going to be traveling together, and then his work kept him in Vermont. so it was a change to think that we were going to be doing this separately. It's turned, though, he is a remarkable optimist and positive person. So he turned lemons into lemonade, and he's actually using this as a reading retreat for himself because I'm out of there.
Yeah.
He can really focus. And so, yeah, he's really actually supportive.
Wonderful. Yeah, my husband's pretty supportive too. He has no choice, actually. We have a question.
Yeah, he doesn't have any choice.
We have a question from Steve. How hard is it to find power sources in bad weather? Can you see that question?
Oh, okay. So power sources in bad. Oh, you mean, yeah. So can you hear me all right? You good?
Yeah. You're frozen, but I can hear. It's kind of going in and out.
Well, I wonder why. Well, I will move a little bit closer to the router.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, that might help a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
All right. I'll give you a different view of the jungle too.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're using solar, I would think that bad weather would really only impact solar, if that's what you're thinking.
Okay.
I would like to know. Great question. Power can be really
your
important.
internet?
So I just keep my batteries charged.
Okay. All right. That's good.
If you're on the road with internet, I use my cellular data, so it's not impacted by cellular data. I use my cellular phone as a hotspot on the road, and so that is not impacted by power unless my cellular phone isn't charged.
Okay. Great. All right. So, next question. Have you had any scary moments while traveling?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Travel Grandma, I think you know what I'm going to say here.
Yes, I do.
Grandma got a distress call from Blue Wonder Lady. I don't know if who here has already seen that video on the Blue Wonder Lady channel. Yes,
I'll give you a little hint here. Sleeping at a truck stop for the first time, she got a little bit spooked and gave me a call. And that's fun, you know. We had a good chat, and I could see that she was really on edge. And
yeah,
in that video,
I was.
She goes through some tips. That is really good video.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I really wanted to share that, even though I felt pretty vulnerable and exposed. Share that. So many face fears when we're on the road, and then we need to know how to get through it in a way that's safe and that encourages us to try again. So my night vision was causing me to have to stop sooner than I expected, and so I had to get resourceful and stay for the first time ever at a truck stop, and it happened to be remote, unattended at night. So it was an initiation.
Yeah. All right, we have another question from MoBang FoYo Bucks. Hi, Tim. How does your eating habit affect your health on the road? Can you see that? See if we can get her back here.
I'm sorry that the connection is going in and out here. Is this better?
Hey, you're in Costa Rica, so you know you're excused. Right, we'll try this. Can you see Tim's?
So the edit is affecting my health on the road.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, the eating habits. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, great question, Tim. You know, it's really quite something coming from a town in Vermont where it's actually ranked highest in the nation for access to organic, locally grown food. And going from that to the rest of the country where it's a challenge to find locally grown organic food. I mean, there's a lot more of it showing up in the supermarkets, but it's a lot harder to just go to a farmer's market and just grab what you need. So that was a challenge. So what I decided to do was get really organic, dehydrated food and also bring greens and dehydrate them from home. It did affect my health at first. I wasn't eating as much as I normally would because I just wasn't venturing into the less healthy food. And once I, really got myself stocked up, I did better. Those stations,
Liz, losing you again a little bit. All right.
Tell you if you for a second. Okay, I may have to use a.
All right, let's try this.
I may need to use a hotspot here, which is a great example of how we can be digital nomads. Instead of using the Wi-Fi, I may need to use a hotspot.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ask for help from my friend here who I'm traveling with.
All right. Thank you for your questions. We have another question when you're ready. Pull it up here. Kind of think about it. Have you ever slept at a rest area during your travels?
Oh, no. And there are some beautiful rest areas.
Yeah. Rest areas are not my favorite place. I took a trip in this past summer and went from Southern California, where my home is, all the way to Maine. And I don't think I stayed at one rest area at all. I don't know. I popped in a few, but I didn't find any that felt safe enough. How about you, Ishana? So sorry about the connection for her. We'll say hi to a couple more people while we're waiting. Hi, Camping Katie. Good to see you. We met a lot of these people when we were in Quartzsite. We met Camping Katie. We met Tim, MoBang FoYo Bucks. Let's see. See if we can get her back on here. Can't hear you. Technical difficulties. See if we can get her back on. All right, so they're saying can't hear you. You can hear me okay, right? So for those of you who weren't here in the very beginning, Ishana is in Costa Rica, and she's having a little bit of internet problems here. Let's see, Steve said he stayed at rest stops so many times, but never in a van, so it may be a little trickier than a car. Pull up some of these other questions or comments. Oh, okay. Here's one from Crafty Traveler. It says, which is better, staying at a rest area versus a truck stop? I actually like truck stops. I like truck stops because they're usually 24 hours. There'll be a store attached to them. I like Love's, Flying J, Pilot. I will usually park pretty close to the store. I don't park out in the back by the trucks. I always park under a light. Guess we lost her completely. And so we'll hope to get her back here. And when she pops in, I'll go ahead and bring her back up. But you can see my other screen there. Those are my grandkids, by the way. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of rest areas. I would rather go to a hotel. I will often park there. I've used curbs for people that I've met on the internet. Let me pull her back up here. There you are.
Hey, so sorry. Life on the road.
Yeah. We all understand, believe me.
Thank you so much for understanding.
Okay.
There were two monkeys in the
Okay.
tree next to us, which just added a lot of excitement in addition to the internet going down.
Okay. Can you scan you're on a tablet, right?
I am on a tablet, yeah.
Can you see them now or no?
See what?
See the monkeys?
Oh, no,
No, okay.
they ran off. Yeah. No, they were doing their thing and then they're gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But we did get a little footage, so maybe I could post that in a playlist on my channel. Yeah.
Yeah, Crafty Traveler says that she uses Sisters on the Fly. I as well use Sisters on the Fly a lot. They have what's called Sisters on the Curb. And it's just women traveling, and you basically find them on a map and you contact them and find out if they have availability. It's a wonderful organization. There's also other ones online. They have Facebook groups. Hostess Sister is one. Road Trip Her is another one. Those are just some examples. All right, let's see if we have any other questions here. I have another question for you.
Okay.
You had a video last week, I think, about some tips when you were at the gas station.
Yes. So the gas station. Okay. The gas station is okay, it started out as my nemesis, and it's ended up being my ally.
Okay.
And I wanted to share with all of you how I made that switch. So there's a video called Maxing the Gas Station. There's a great way to use the gas station to help our cars, do safety checks on our cars. This is all beyond pumping up at the, pump, adding fuel. We can, do a safety check on our car before we hit the road again. Mm-hmm. And there are things we can do to take care of our body as well. And then there are the donuts. And I had to deal with the donuts. So
I think we should let them go to your channel, look up that video, because the donuts, hysterical. Really cute. So
I think a lot of people can relate to the donut saga.
Yeah. That was really, really cute. I enjoyed watching that little segment that you had at the end there. Are there any other tips that you could give first timers going out?
Yeah. Okay, great. So some tips that were really helpful to me in getting started were just do it, right? Mm-hmm. Don't aim for perfection. There are just so many versions of perfect.
Yeah.
And your version of perfect is not going to be the same as somebody else's. And then there's also perfect for beginners, there's perfect for intermediates, and there's perfect for advanced. So find your perfect for being a beginner. That's fine. If that's just having, like I did, an army cot, a bin, and something for under the bed, that's it. That's your perfect. That's great. Right. Get on the road. It's really about getting started, because there's so much that we just don't know until we're actually doing it. There's the other tip would be get connected with other people who are doing it, like Travel Grandma's groups on Facebook, or meetups on Meetup, or the Homes on Wheels Alliance, and lots of other groups. Even just one friend who wants to do it with you and do it with them. So that would be tip number 2, would be get connected to other people who are doing it.
We actually met in Quartzsite at the Home on Wheels Alliance RTR women's group. That's where we first met.
That's right, around the campfire.
That's right. And she was talking about her story about being married and being on the road. And we just instantly connected because we had something in common there.
Including really supportive partners and, and really valuing connection on the road. So that was great. Yeah, I've discovered a lot of people who want to connect on the road. So it's not like you go out there and you're just wandering around. You
Right.
bump
Go to
into
some
a lot of
events.
other people who are doing
If you
this.
can find some events, that's perfect. We have a question here from Steve. Any advice on finding van life communities on the East Coast? Now you're up in Vermont. Have you come across any on the East Coast?
Steve, that is the question of the day. You just read my mind.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on a mission. I'm going to be back in the East Coast in the end of March, April, right? And that's when I'm going to scour the East Coast for
Okay.
groups. Then on my channel, The Blue Wonder Lady, you're going to be able to find everything that I discover. I'm sure that it's out there, and it's just a matter of finding it and putting it in some video that makes it easy to access. I know that there are going to be communities. We have beautiful camping up in the East Coast, don't we? In this country, it's just gorgeous. So,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of big cities. So, I know that there's a community, and we're going to
Yeah.
find it. We'll find it together.
Awesome. All right. We have another question here about Sisters on the Curb. Have you heard of Sisters on the Fly, Ishana?
Yeah, you actually had told me about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sisters on the Curb is just part of Sisters on the Fly. Sisters on the Fly, if you just go to sistersonthefly.com, you'll get connected with them. There is a yearly fee with that, but there's so many benefits and so many offshoot groups from that. If you like to sew, there's sisters that like to sew. If you like to fly fish, there's sisters that like to fly fish. And basically, they're all different groups that you connect with, and they have different events throughout the year as well. Sisters on the Curb is only one part of that, and it's all included with your membership. And there's usually a map, and you'll just go on there and you'll connect with people and get in touch with them either by phone or by text, and that's all made available to you once you belong to that organization.
That's actually, Elaine, one of the strategies I'm going to use is Sisters on the Curb for New
Mm-hmm.
England to see what there is, and then do some filming of those activities so that we
Yeah,
can all.
I stayed with sisters throughout the whole United States on my trip.
Wow. How
Yeah.
many states have you traveled to, Travel
I
Grandma?
have been to every state, including Hawaii, except for Alaska, which we hope to get to either this year or next year. My
Oh,
husband
that's
and I are going to go down.
awesome. That's great. Do you have the stickers on your car or somewhere from all these places?
Well,
How do you keep track?
we traveled in RVs, so we've had 3 different RVs before, and we did have stickers at one time, but we no longer have those RVs, so we no longer have those
I
stickers. I wasn't going to go
know.
peeling them off.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's cool.
we've also done some world traveling, as I understand you have too.
This is
You want to talk a little bit
true.
about that?
Sure. Yeah. I've been very fortunate in that since I was knee high to a grasshopper, almost literally, because I was only about 6 months old when we moved to Europe, and we were there for about 3 years. So my first languages were Italian and a little bit of French. Then we moved back to the States. I had a hard time adjusting. The States it's been tricky for me to really find my spot in the States, and
Okay.
also with English a little bit. I actually overcame a stammer because of the multilingual thing. And then I ended up going abroad and being an exchange student in England and traveling to Russia. Uh, then, as a young adult, I lived in Europe. I lived in Italy and worked there. I backpacked all through Western Europe for 2 years. That was great. I was so buff.
Mm-hmm.
and and really it had fun exploring, trying all the different foods and cuisines, but also seeing the way people live. One of the things that Egypt taught me is that all you need for uh, not all you need, but one of the ways to have community is a rug outside your front door that you sit
Mm-hmm.
on and play some nice music and people come by and say hi and mingle with you, because that's what was happening in the neighborhoods that I was going through in Egypt. People would put their rugs out the front doors. So I wanted to carry that kind of lifestyle with me into my, into my life. So that the van life is a way of doing that, because we set up around the van and we can just walk around in the desert, and mingle with one another and comment on each other's rigs, talk solar power, and it's really a nice way to live, just with that open area, open door policy. So yeah, I've lived in different countries, traveled a lot, and decided that the nomad life is more suited for me, and sharing the area with people.
Well, you can actually do that same thing throughout the world, because when I started traveling, I actually started traveling in Europe, and I stayed with host families. And I'm going to do some videos about that and talk about the organizations that I've used. Like we've talked about Sisters on the Fly doing, where you park your car or, your trailer or whatever you're traveling in. Oh, I hear those birds in the background there. I did the same thing in people's homes when I traveled to Europe. So I'm gonna do some videos on that soon.
What kinds of things did you notice in Europe that were different from how they are in the States about lifestyle?
Oh my gosh, there's so much.
What stood out to you that you wanted to carry forward into your own life?
Just how friendly everyone was, I know, we're friendly here in the United States, but I think in Europe, I had people just saying hi to me more than I see really in the United States on the streets. They weren't afraid to really come up. Maybe they were curious because maybe I looked a little different than some of the places that I was at. But as you were talking about Egypt, I was in Egypt too. Boy, did they want to know about the Americans.
Yeah, they're really open and want to get to know you and connect. Yeah, it's nice, really nice.
All right, let me see. Let me get back here. I don't know what you mean by this here, Krisha. Can you post link about M22 meetup? I am not a mod. Oh, MoBang FoYo Bucks said that. Sorry. All right. So if you can answer that, I don't know. Let's see here.
I wonder too.
Yeah.
Would anybody be interested in hearing a bit about stepping out of a different kind of life into snowbirding, or full-time living on the road, and that experience of making that shift?
Okay, go for it.
Okay, yeah. So I think everyone has their own story, and I heard a lot of different stories on the road, and I think some of the common ingredients were courage and intuition, right? Listening to your gut. This is something I need to do, kind of thing, and also a willingness to take risks and try something new. But also there was some grief. I did also hear some grief. Some people had to leave some other people behind in order to make this shift, or they had to leave a job behind in order to make this shift. I also heard healing from trauma, that this kind of shift had a desperation, but also an instinct that this would bring healing around trauma. There were people I met who hit the road because they just couldn't do the other life anymore. And they needed to do some healing, and that was going to happen on the road. But that also meant making the hard decision and letting go of a lot. So,
right. And sometimes friends do not understand.
Right. Yeah.
You have to educate them.
That is so true. And So I think the more we watch these videos and get to know that we YouTube creators are all real people who are experiencing this, the more normal it can start to seem for us. And then when we tell our friends about it, we have some terminology. We can also say, hey, so-and-so's do it. Blue Wonder Lady did it. Travel Grandma did it. You know, all these other people did it. And point them to our channels, you know, anything to help normalize it.
All right. All right. I'm just going to scan here and see if we have any other questions.
I'd love to hear any ideas for videos. That would be
that's a great idea. What kind of videos would you like Ishana to make?
Yeah. And are there any topics that you don't think anybody's covering, or that you think might even be a little on the edge? Because I'll go there. So if there's a topic
go on the edge? Okay.
Don't be afraid to suggest a topic to me that you think might be a little edgy or, you know, taboo or something like that. Because I feel like we all need to destigmatize topics, taboo topics, so we can be really empowered on our journeys.
Well, what are some topics that you want to cover?
That I want to cover?
What do you think?
Did you just ask me? Because it broke up a little bit.
Yeah. What
So
are some topics that you want to cover that you haven't seen anybody else cover yet? How about that?
Okay. Well, I would like to see more feminine hygiene covered.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, I'm sure that there's masculine hygiene as well. I would really like to see more feminine hygiene covered. Also, relationship, how to separate when you're traveling solo as a solo female or as a solo male. How do you maintain and nurture the relationship with the person who didn't come with you? That would be really good. And also relationship tips for on the road. What if you're traveling together in a really small space and things get tricky? So I know that there is a lot of medicine for medical issues. There's also telecounseling. So I think van lifers can benefit from knowing about these mental health care on the road. That would be great.
Steve says,
those are a few.
Steve says, don't leave him out. Male hygiene needs to be improved too for travelers.
Yeah, right, Steve?
Yeah, you're right, Steve. They don't talk about it, do they?
No, so Steve, that would be great. You know, I would love it if you could direct message me on Facebook at Blue Wonder Lady. Then please tell me a little bit about that, because I obviously wouldn't know about that, and I would really like to learn and get that out there to help other folks on the road. That'd be great, Steve.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what time we've got here. We've been on for a while here. I mean, I'll stick around, but you know.
Yeah, we're here.
See.
And I'll show you a little bit. I'll spin around here.
Outdoor Dash Travels. Lisa says also healthcare on the road.
Yes. I think emergency medical care as well as basic first aid would be good on the road.
First aid would be really good.
In some of these van tours, I've noticed, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, that the first aid kits aren't covered. You know, where are you keeping your first aid kit? Like, you know, we all have the topic of where do we use the restroom? How do we keep clean? Right? Really important. But also, where do we keep our first aid kits? And what's our network if something happens? Yeah, healthcare on the road. Also, like I had a back.
Here's one here. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, sorry. Remote work. Great. Yes, remote
work would be really good to cover.
Definitely. And you know, it is not as simple as a lot of these YouTube videos on van life make it seem. So I'd like to do a video on all the plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D.
Steve would like to know about meditation.
Yes, actually, it's great that you asked that, Steve, because I actually started to film a little bit about that. Yeah, that's great, Steve, that you mentioned that. There are meditation centers as well as our own meditation practices. So I think that'd be really cool to cover. Yeah.
All right. Emergency care. Not only for you, but also for your fur babies.
Yes.
I have a dog at home, but I don't travel with a dog. You don't either, Shauna, right?
Yeah, but we will be, though, in a few months. So that's something I definitely am going to be getting up to speed about. Actually, outdoor travel thing, that's a really, really important topic. And the fur babies deserve as many videos about them on van life as the humans. I actually saw something on the highway the other day that was an alert to me that we need to be talking about this more to keep our fur babies safe. So I'll be releasing that video shortly. But yeah, that's a great topic. Yeah.
And her channel again is Blue Wonder Lady. So make sure you pop on over there and subscribe and like this video. Live stream will become a video afterwards, and subscribe as well to both of ours.
I'd love to see you on the channel as well as on the Facebook page. I'm also starting a Facebook group. I kind of messed up with that today, so I got to get it fixed on Tuesday.
Okay, tell us about that. Tell us about your Facebook group.
Yeah, so the Facebook group is going to be Blue Wonder Lady. Right now there's a page, so feel free to go there. There are 2 groups, though, and I need to delete one. So anyway, but the group will be a place where, again, if you want to ask any sensitive topics, or you just have ideas or fun things that you want to post, but also I really want to see pictures of your vans. That would be so cool to see the process. And you don't have to release them on YouTube if you don't want, unless you want me to do a tour, that would be great.
So it's a private group.
If you just want to share it, it's going to be public. It'll be a public group. So do you know that?
Oh, a public group. Okay.
Public group. But, I know that when I wanted to start this because I was seeing all these great van life videos for years, and I wanted on the comment section under YouTube, maybe you've wanted to do this too, to actually post a picture of my process and get tips and get advice, right, from the YouTube creator, or to just share my excitement about this milestone with the build, right, before I ever hit the road. And there wasn't any way to really do that. So I'm setting up this group so that we can all just share our excitement for the build, the not build, the planning our trips, ask questions of each other. And you can reach out to me there too if you'd like to have your van toured.
All right. So MoBang FoYo Bucks wants to be a moderator, so I just added him. Thank you.
Cool. Oh, and also, Travel Grandma, snowbirding.
Snowbirding would be good.
Yes, this is a big topic. How do we maintain a home base and go on the road, for the rest of the year, right? How do we do that? Or do we just snowbird all year, and just chase the sun? So strategies for snowbirding as well.
All right, let's see. Any other questions? Let's see. Just gonna go back here a little bit and see if we got everything. So some people wanted to know before, and I didn't get to that in time. Where are you staying in Costa Rica?
Oh yeah. Oh, great question. Thanks for asking. I am in the green zone, which is Dominical. I'm in the green zone in a town called Dominical, which is near Uvita, which more people might have heard of. I'm up perched here, see over there, on the top of a preserve. I wish I could make it. You can see the blue sky right now. And on the other side is ocean. It's 200 acres. This is the green zone of Costa Rica. It's southern Costa Rica. And I'm at a place that you can actually come to too. There's a website for it. I'll have to provide that for you in maybe, I don't know, the Facebook page. I'll provide that for you. And yeah, I'm staying here with Supriya. We're snowbirding together right now. Yeah, and then when I'll be back, I want to say on the continent, but I am on a continent, in the States, March 1st, and then I'm going to be on the road again. Yeah.
Okay, and you're going back up into from the south, going north? then back to Vermont?
Yes, exactly. Right. So I did a loop. Went from Vermont. I survived I-10, I-70, I-70. I want a T-shirt. I think we should all have T-shirts. I survived I-70 and in the winter.
Uh-huh.
And got down to the Southwest, then came across Texas, right? And Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, all of that, Florida. And then flew out of Florida to Costa Rica, and then I'm going back up. So that's the loop.
All right. A travel minivan. Can you post your question again? I missed it. I'm sorry. There's just keep scrolling up. If you could post that again, I think we'll be happy to try to answer it for you. A travel minivan has a question. See if she comes back around. All right.
Thanks for all these questions too. It's really great to hear from you.
Blue Wonder Lady, so you have just reached your 30-day mark, right? So now you can go in and actually customize your channel to where it will say Blue Wonder Lady, right?
Which it does. Yes.
It does now. All right, awesome. Yes. So let me show that for you here.
Thank you, MoBang FoYo Bucks. Thank you for posting
Blue
that.
Wonder Lady. Okay. All right, let's see. Here is the question from a travel minivan. How about people on a CPAP machine?
Great. Okay. Great. And I'm sure you've encountered this too, Elaine. This conversation around the battery packs and how they need to be stable enough, a certain kind that has a sine wave that's correct for a CPAP machine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar myself, but yeah, that would be definitely something.
Yeah, so what you want to do, what I would suggest Travel Minivan is contact your the battery maker if you're looking for a battery for your CPAP machine and ask them directly, is this approved for supporting a CPAP, right?
Yeah. Here's one. Steve says he uses a Jackery 500 for CPAP, but they have different power needs based on the model.
That's why I would call the battery maker directly and ask them if it's approved for that particular CPAP. Yes, and you can even call the CPAP maker and get in communication. Yeah, really important.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Another question here. Oh yeah, please put Q in front so we can see your questions. Thanks, Tim.
Good idea.
Crafty Travel has a Jackery 250. I actually have a Jackery 1000. And the difference is in what kinds of things you want to run. Like if I have a hot plate or something and that hot plate is 400 watts, the Jackery 250 is going to shut off immediately. It won't power it at all. But the 1000 or the 500 even would power it. So you just have to be above that.
Yeah, and have a backup.
Yeah.
For something that important.
Definitely have more than one. Yes, for something like a CPAP. Let's see. All right.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's a really good point. I just thought of that because these battery packs run out eventually. They only have a certain number of cycles, discharge and charge up cycles in them, and we don't necessarily know that the thing is about to run out of its life. And so for something as important as a CPAP machine, or if you're a digital nomad and though you have critical meetings that you really need to be on, then I would say always have a backup so that you're covered.
Somebody about a humidifier too.
What's the question there?
When will you use a humidifier, or would you?
Oh, well, that's interesting. I considered the little steam aromatherapy steam cups that you can find. You know the ones I mean? They're the size of like a travel coffee cup, and you put water in, and then you can put, if you want, essential oils in the top, and it'll USB. It's powered by USB, and you can put it in your car or anywhere, and then that gives a little bit of steam, right? That you don't have to use essential oils. So I did think about doing that in the desert because it was dry. But I wouldn't, I think that you don't want to have mold and mildew forming in your van, or in your vehicle. So that's something to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I think she's saying humidifier with a CPAP. So I'm not familiar with that at all.
This is a great topic. I think this would be a really good video.
Some research needs to be done.
Yes.
On that.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. That would be a great video.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions?
Or ideas?
Ideas,
yeah. And is anybody out there in the middle of a build? Like, are you in the middle of a build right now? Or are you in the Northeast or anywhere along the Eastern corridor and would like me to come by and film you?
Oh, wow. That would be a message to go to her channel. Is there a way to contact you from your channel?
Yeah, well, I don't know, but I know Facebook, yes. How do people contact people on YouTube? That's a great question. Do you know?
I haven't had that option. I haven't put that option out there. I do know that some people will put it in the comments.
Yes, and I read every comment.
Something like that. So yeah, maybe. I mean, put it not in the comments, but like in the description. I'm sorry. You could have your email in the description if you feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think I would rather, because I don't know if you're like me, but email is a giant abyss. I do have bluewonderlady@gmail.com.
Okay.
So bluewonderlady@gmail.com, and if you would like me to come and tour your video or remotely view your van or your build out, we can do it remotely or in person. That would be fun, a lot of fun.
Oh, great! And then they can also reach you through Facebook, either by Ishana, by your name, Ishana Martha, or Blue Wonder Lady. Do you have a page also on Facebook, don't you? Blue Wonder Lady.
Yes, that's Blue Wonder Lady. Yeah.
Okay.
And also Instagram. I'm also there now too.
And Instagram too. Okay. Are you with your name then,
or Blue Wonder Lady?
Blue. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. It's all Blue Wonder Lady. I've been busy, Elaine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you have. And you've been traveling too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was really what, I want to say, that was a really important part of my hitting the road, was to remain connected to what gives me purpose and meaning, which is creating content that's inspiring and that helps us all connect with one another. So I didn't want to stop working while I was on the road at all. And so I've been really working hard to find ways to stay connected digitally in any circumstance. And it's paid off. There's been a lot of progress made, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying getting to know all of you.
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job. Somebody wants to know about the meetup in Oregon. I don't have any information about that. If somebody does, it would be great to post that. M22 meetup information. I have no clue. I haven't heard of it.
Does MoBang FoYo Bucks know about that?
I don't know. He's in California, so. Do you know, Tim? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, here. Wait. I think we have a link.
Oh,
Facebook great. Group. So Oregon meetup. All right.
Cool.
Nice.
When is that meetup?
Do you know when the meetup is, Tim? See if he posts that. Okay. See if he comes on. Anyway, it has been such a pleasure to talk to you. Oh, let's hear something else here.
I'm really glad you all stayed on, even when I had that connection issue.
Okay, he says it's in June, sometime in
Okay.
June. So, yeah,
Great.
we'll have to look out for that. And
I want to give a shout out to you too, Travel Grandma, because you are doing so much to build the van life community as well as the YouTube creators community. And I
yeah.
I wouldn't be here without you. So big shout out to Travel Grandma. Big shout out.
I guess there's another meetup in Michigan in October. We'll get some information maybe about that. If you have that information, we can go ahead and put this in the description for this video when it gets to be a video afterwards. So, yeah, and I also have a Facebook group. It's right now just for women only, and it's just go to Facebook. It's Travel Grandma, and love to have you join. There's also a new group that started called Nomad YouTube Creators. So anybody that's starting a brand new channel can go in there, and Shauna is there, and she offers some help. Lucretia's in there. She's offering some help too. Just whatever questions you might have.
It's a great group.
Yeah.
And it's growing. And yeah.
All right. And Lisa Outdoor Dash Travels, she's in there. She's a brand new YouTuber. Camping Katie is a brand new YouTuber. Make sure you check out their channels. Crafty Traveler is a YouTube creator. She's in our group as well. Yeah.
That's so great. It's great to see all these channels growing.
YouTuber. You can be, you could have been around for a while. We'd love to have you chime in and help the newer people out. That'd be great. All right. So I think that we're coming to a close here.
All right.
So I want to thank Tim. Tim, thank you so much for coming in. I also wanted to give a special shout out to Lucretia Lake for burning up the rose, for also being a moderator. Really appreciate it. She's helped me out so much. And of course, Ishana, thank you so much for being my first guest on my
what a treat. It is so cool to see the van tour, Elaine. I want all of you to know I hadn't seen it. This was a premiere for me too. I had no idea. And you just did a beautiful job editing, and it was very, very cool to see. So thank you for showing it and having me here tonight. What a pleasure.
Thank you. And please like this and also subscribe to both of our channels. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us so much. So I'm going to say, see you on the road.
Enjoy your journey.
Bye-bye. I think the broadcast is